What's going on, guys? So Drake went ahead and took this federal. He went ahead and took the complaint against UMG to federal court instead, and he withdrew his complaint. I did a live stream a couple days ago about this whole situation, where he read the entire 82 pages, but this is more of like a too long, didn't read. So we're just gonna go over the points I highlighted and just some points that I found a little interesting. Remember to like the stream and the video and subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. This is going to be real quick, about 10-15 minutes. We're just going to go through this and go over some key points. So starting off, the whole introduction, Drake started off the lawsuit with a quote from Lucien Grange, the CEO of UMG. A single lie can destroy a reputation or integrity. While it takes years to rebuild a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Sir Lucien Grange, CEO of UMG, March 25th, 2024. So that is a quote from Lucien Grange, which we're going to go down here when he was being sued for, they were saying that Lucien Grange was helping Diddy with his parties and, use up all the baby lotion, which is pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy allegation. And, Lucien Grange and UMG immediately bit that in the butt. And they're like, bro, you're going to ruin my integrity and my reputation with a simple allegation that's not true, because you know that the court of public opinion, bro, is not innocent until proven guilty. The court of public opinion is going to be whatever the public perception is and what the allegations come out. Because when you look at the Lil Mosey situation, the allegations came out, he was proven innocent in court. But if you bring up Lil Mosey online, a lot of people are still going to look at you with that sort of side eye and being like, all right, bro, you know what bro did. But in reality, he got proven innocent. And that's with a lot of situations, bro. There's a lot of situations where people are proven innocent, but the court of public opinion just takes its course and they make their decision immediately. So there's really no changing that. So by making allegations like this, you're immediately Drake is trying to use against UMG by saying like, hey, you guys acknowledge that your reputation can be ruined just as fast as anybody else's. My reputation could be ruined potentially by you guys allowing this record to release and by promoting this music. Because if you guys didn't know, Kendrick and Drake are both subsidiaries of UMG. So while Kendrick reports to Interscope owns UMG. Interscope is just a division of UMG. So both UMG has control of both parties, being Kendrick Lamar and Drake. So Drake's just alleging that they were egging on Kendrick and they were helping him and they were really guiding him to take Drake down, because it's in their benefit to take Drake down in order to make room for other artists and promote other artists. Because essentially, I feel like he's implying that UMG is saying that he's overstayed his welcome, and also at the same time they're trying to devalue his brand, because 2025 is their renegotiation year. So 2025, Drake was going to go into renegotiations with UMG, and you guys know he got that $400 million last time. But last time with the 5-album deal, he got $400 million, and he was trying to spin back this time and say, "Let me get $600 million this time." But UMG, they're like, we're going to hold off on this. You're in the middle of a rap battle with Kendrick. You're in the middle of doing all of this. We don't know what this is going to do to your stock. And Drake went all in knowing that this is a knockout or a KO. This is something that either you're going to raise your stock on or you're going to permanently decrease your stock on. And that's where UMG is really setting their case, saying that, hey, you went into this battle knowing that either you're going to come out on top and raise your value and you can raise that 400 million to 600 million, or you're going to get brutally embarrassed and your stock is going to go from 400 million to 200 million. So UMG is essentially implying that, hey, you took the loss here. Your stock went down. So with that case, you're not worth the 400 million to us anymore for a new record deal. And we need to give you less. So they probably offered bro like 200-300 million. But Drake's wanting more. He's wanting that 400 or 500 million on his as a record deal. Drake's trying to make the most money as he can right now. He's on the tail end of his career. Bro's 40. Likely this next deal he signed with UMG is going to be his last music deal, because, bro, if he does another 3, 4, 5 albums, Bro's going to be 42, 43 by the time he's done with that. Y'all think he's really going to be dropping more albums? Like, at that point, he's going to be like a music mogul and sort of doing these other business ventures and maybe even guiding other artists and finally, putting the rest of the OVO slave camp allegations and actually promoting his own artists. But, yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting that Drake was trying to use that quote against them and say, like, hey, you guys know that this is something that could ruin my reputation and you guys are trying to permanently alter my career, when Lucien Grange not too long ago had some stuff over his head. But I don't think that's going to hold up too well, because realistically, you can't really prove that unless they run all the books, you can't really prove that UMG was boosting Kendrick or paying for streams unless you have receipts of that and you have their payments and all their books, because a lot of this is just marketing, bro. Even if they are boosting streams, do you not think that Drake benefited from that as well? When Drake had God's Plan, when he had Nice for What, when he had all these other records, bro, he had the initial boost because, bro, all of these record labels got exposed for doing this. Atlantic was one of the big victims of this when they got exposed for the Don Toliver and the Big Sean, and I think Meek Mill was in there too. Getting streams faked for them. Oh, and French Montana. Shout out French Montana, the GOAT. They were all getting all this stuff faked for them just to get an initial boost, because if a song already has, 10 million streams, obviously, subconsciously you're going to look at it and be like, oh, this was just dropped 2 days ago. This must be a popping record. Let me go listen to it. So I think Drake benefited from it too. You can't say that they helped Kendrick out with fake streams and not say that they didn't help you out. But we'll get more into that later on. Let me keep going down. This was another point I found interesting. A different intruder uses bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto house. You ever see Blue Mountain State when they got in the drunk tank and they had to dig their way out from the ground? They were freaking like, ugh, and just coming out from all the mud. When Sammy ordered the pizzas and shit and they were all coming out, that's what I imagine was happening at Drake's house. And one of his security guards noticed. He was like, oh, shit, let me get a hang of this before this guy brings in the rest of them. Fortunately, Drake's home security guards caught him before he was able to do any physical harm. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You imagine digging your way underneath, like freaking cartoon style, Snoopy style, and you get to the other side, and there's just 3 security guards just looking at you, bro. Fucking put you back in the dirt. Yeah, bro. That must have been a crazy situation. I thought that was kind of like cartoony, bro. I thought that was kind of wild. Yeah, I can't believe I stayed up on stream reading all 80 pages of this, bro. I was tired as hell. Page 60, chat, I was fucking falling asleep. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this is going. So over here in page 8. UMG understands how dangerous these kind of false allegations are indeed. When it comes to the allegations against UMG and its executives, they have not hesitated to take legal action against their accuser. Just last year, UMG and Sir Grange were accused, in their words, without the slightest factual basis of aiding and abetting Sean P. Diddy Combs in criminal sexual acts. Moving to dismiss the complaint against them, UMG and Sir Grange argued that the accusations were offensively false allegations of criminal behavior. You see, bro? Sir Grange also explained a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. So yeah, that was just Drake and his team flipping that on Grange's head and UMG's head, and just saying like, hey, bro, y'all are doing the same thing to me that these people were doing to you in reference to the Diddy shit. Many months prior to filing litigation, Drake attempted to address these claims privately with UMG. Drake believed, per Sir Grange, that UMG's leadership should be held accountable for the decisions we make and how we conduct ourselves. And UMG proposed to care about threatening and abusive behavior. Indeed, UMG's code of conduct notes that harassment can take different forms, such as speech that is threatening or abusive, and declares that violence, threats, and physical intimidation are not tolerated at Universal Music. UMG responded that Drake would face humiliation if he brought legal action. So they're alleging that he came to UMG, him or his team went to UMG privately probably to negotiate the next contract and to start talking about it. And they also talked about this record and said, hey, none of these allegations that Kendrick is talking about are true. So this is going to damage my career by basically you're saying, you're dragging my name in the dirt and there's no factual basis of it. Yes, we know that Drake has like a weird history with younger women, but for the most part, bro, we have that 17-year-old girl at that concert that was an 18-plus show that the girl said her dad brought her to the show. Like, other than that, bro, I'm not gonna lie, there are some weird things now I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, bro, there's nothing really that overly tells me that Drake is really that big of a weirdo. I don't know. I think they were cooking on this lawsuit. I'm not gonna lie. Reading this whole thing really kind of swayed me. Oh yeah, UMG. This is their studio. Meet up there, chat. We're doing a meetup. Not really though. Don't show up at UMG studios or UMG corporate. Drake has 13 #1 Billboard Chart 100 hits. That was a surprise to me too. I thought he had more. I don't know why I thought he had more, but whatever. And scrolling down, 55 Grammy Awards. In 2013, Drake became the global ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. Since then, Drake has inspired new team alternate jerseys. He's done a lot for the Toronto Raptors. He's also done a lot for Canada. Here they're trying to just really boost him up and, make him seem like a morally high person. He's never been convicted of anything whatsoever, much less sexual crimes or any crimes against minors. So Drake has done nothing wrong. They talk about different deals. One thing I was hoping for when I was reading this is that they would get more into Drake's deal. They sort of explained what different deals are and why UMG benefits from promoting artists, but they never really got into Drake's deal too much. I would have loved to hear what more of the deep dive with the numbers and just everything that goes into a Drake deal, like when Kanye exposed his whole deal. Through copyright ownership, Universal Music can control the unlicensed use of its music, but it can also strategically waive or reduce the customary fees it charges for licensing rights to the music it provides for unrestricted spread of the song, also known as whitelisting. So that's another thing that Drake. I didn't really like this part. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. They weren't really cooking here. They were burning the food. I'm not gonna lie in this part. So they were saying that Universal was purposely spreading the song by not copyright claiming the songs for the first month, allowing content creators to make money off of reacting to the song and talking about the song and posting the song and stuff like that. And bro, while I get that it does give an unfair advantage to an extent, honestly, bro, I'm in full support of whitelisting. As a creator myself, I think that labels should do this more often. They should do this for all records because they got to know that while the music and the rights to the music itself are valuable, the more valuable asset is having that music spread wide and using the creators to spread and market the music for you for at least the first month. Because if the song gets claimed a couple days later, they're going to claim those 2-3 days of money that you made. So you got to at least write it out to the start of the next month so that the creators can get paid. But yeah, I think that all songs should be whitelisted. And yes, it was kind of an advantage that they had in Drake's song. Honestly, bro, Drake songs get claimed so quick. You can play like 2 or 3 seconds of a Drake song, it's going to get copyright claimed. So I could see if Drake is wanting more songs to be whitelisted, I can see this being, them having cooked in this part. But honestly, bro, they need to whitelist all songs. It is kind of an unfair advantage, I'm not going to lie, but for example, the annual incentive for the boss of Interscope CEO, John Janik, is 90% of the financial success of Interscope and only 10% of the financial success of UMG generally, which was another wild statement to include because I would think that if you're going to include this, you're going to include Interscope in the lawsuit as well. But for him to just have included UMG is pretty wild because if you think about it, he's saying that John Janik gets 90% of his success based on the success of how UMG is performing at the time, or not UMG, Interscope is performing at the time. So if this Kendrick disc that was under UMG, the Not Like Us record was under UMG, was really performing well, he has a higher incentive rate for Not Like Us to do well than he does for like a Family Matters to do well, or for a, the Heart Part 6 to do well. Obviously, because he worked for Interscope, not UMG. That should go without saying, but for example, through the promotion of the recording and its revitalization impact on Kendrick Lamar's entire catalog, including the first 5 studio albums, Interscope and Interscope executive benefit off the effects of the UMG labels like Republic, which represent Drake. So they're also saying that Kendrick also benefits off of it from his back catalog also getting promotion as well. When we were streaming, when everybody was streaming Euphoria and Not Like Us, and all these records were going crazy, and Not Like Us to an extent is still going pretty crazy for how old the record is. All of Kendrick's back catalog is getting streamed as well. But at the same time, you don't really have a leg to stand on here, Drake, because, bro, the same thing happens for Drake. Every record that Drake is going to drop is going to see a huge boost in streams. And not only that, you're going to enter the charts back. Anytime that Drake drops a record, Take Care is going to go back to the charts. Scorpion is going to go back to the charts. Views is going to go back to the charts. So Drake benefits off of this from just any record he drops, not just off of a beef. And here they just go more into the renegotiations and how Drake is losing money because he's not going to get as much money because of the hit he took from Kendrick Lamar and the hit that his stock took if UMG was defaming Drake. But because, overall, this whole lawsuit, I'm not really going to read too much more into it because we did that the other day. He does, shout out here, he does name drop a couple creators like Kai Cenat, RDC World, Zias got mentioned, Cartier Family. So a lot of creators got mentioned, surprisingly. Shout out to all my creators. But we read this live the other day, and really a lot of it was just him saying that UMG is trying to get him out of here, and UMG benefits from getting him out of here because they know that Drake's not going to sign anywhere else. The main reason that Drake he's sort of in a bind. He either has to go independent and make all the music off his own money but lose the machine of marketing, or he has to re-sign with UMG. There's no other route. No other label is going to give Drake the amount of money that UMG would give him, because if Drake were to go to another label that has no affiliation with UMG, they can't give him as much money, because if you were to give Drake $500 million as a separate record label, you run into the risk that UMG owns Drake's back catalog because he's always been with UMG. So Drake dropping a new album is going to be a lot more money for a new label to recoup than it is for UMG to recoup, because when they drop and Drake signed a new label, they're only getting the profits from, that new album, which let's say every track does 100 million streams. You're only getting the money off 160 million streams, versus if UMG drops the album, then they're also eating off of the back catalog, because they know that Drake has 10 plus back albums that are all going to go up in streams and they're all going to get higher plays. So they're betting that they're going to squeeze a little bit of extra money out of the album by his back catalog doing well, which is why they can offer Drake more money in the long term or in the short term, because they know that they're going to make that 400, 500, 600 million back in the long term through licensing, through back streams, through new album drops. So Drake is kind of in a bind, and he knows that. So he went the route of dropping songs on Instagram and doing the 100 gigs and not taking the promotion from UMG. I think that was a tactic to see that if he can go independent, because if he's doing these with no promo from UMG and they're still doing well, then, he's good. He's good. He's in the clear. But he did those, and those did no noise, bro. No Face, Red, Blue, Green. What was that other? Circadian Rhythm. Those should have been. Hello? Yeah. Yo. You're live right now. You're on the stream right now. But yeah, I'm going to let you go. Nah. Let me finish talking about this. I got you. But yeah, sorry, that was my boy Alex. But yeah, they know that Drake can't get any more money from any other label. He's not going to go to another label and drop. So it's kind of dumb by Drake to go the independent route. He dropped Circadian Rhythm, No Face, what was that other record? Red, Blue, Green. Those were all hits, bro. 2018, those would have been top 30 hits that wouldn't leave the charts for years. But you know, that's just how it is. He dropped those records. They didn't put any money behind it, and they didn't make any noise. Really, they were hot for like a couple weeks, maybe. But even then, you know, they just fell right off. So UMG was sort of showing Drake a little bit subtly like, all right, bro, you can't really do much without us. You're not really gonna, you know, get far without us. Which was pretty funny to see and looking back at it. But then Drake, after that, must have gone the route of, okay, let me put a legal complaint and let me go legal with this. And I don't think UMG is scared, man. I don't think that they're really tripping about this. One thing that we are going to see is, one, this is going to, you know, be dragged out in court for a good bit. I don't see Drake dropping while this is, you know, in litigation or whatever. I don't see them allowing Drake to drop any music. The only chance of us hearing Drake music is going to be like that Fighting Irish freestyle where it's just dropped on Instagram or leaked. Kind of like the Migos situation where they were stuck in that deal back in 2013. We're not going to see any Drake music until this is settled and until, you know, Drake pulls his complaint essentially, which is going to suck to see because we were supposed to get that R&B album with Party Next Door, which we're not getting. So that's kind of cooked. And we're not going to get a lot. I think that album's going to be scrapped, bro. I don't think we're getting that album in general. I think if Drake comes back with another album soon after this is dropped, it's going to be for, you know, just a classic Drake album. He's probably going to feature Thug on it. I could see a Young Thug collab album before I can see a Party Next Door collab album with Drake, just because Drake needs to get good in the public eye again, man. I think Drake knows that he sort of ruined his stock in terms of how much money he can get from UMG and just his public image overall, because a lot of people just aren't messing with Drake at the moment. But, yeah, man, that's really all I got on it. That's all I think. I think the situation is stupid. I think this is pretty legacy ruining for Drake. It kind of sucks to see one of the GOATs, probably, you know, holds the most records all time in terms of all music and just a lot of streaming, and he's going out sad like this, man. You hate to see it, but yeah, I mean, I do not see this going in Drake's favor, and man, it just sucks to see, bro. Sucks to see. That's all I gotta say. Also, remember to join the Discord, guys. We're going to be doing more giveaways. That vinyl giveaway, I'm just gonna do it on here. Honestly, it makes it a little easier. Makes it a little easier. It's gonna be the top link in the description for you guys to join. Yeah, we're gonna be doing the giveaways here. I'm gonna be adding a couple more channels. I got a stream channel for any of y'all that want to come on stream sometime. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think Drake's cooked. Oh, well, shit. It's been a W stream.